Hey y'all, welcome back to Kicking It with K-Rob. It is your host, K-Rob, and today we will have a special guest. It's kind of the episode is a continuation kind of from an episode I did 2 years ago about all things spirituality related, because you know it is spooky season. This is a first time guest. And y'all, this is like my third or fourth time trying this. Instagram was testing me, but we're going to get this done, okay? Because this episode is actually important. And like I said, it's spooky season, so why not?
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
for
Okay, so Jenny, do you mind introducing yourself and like what your title is as far as spiritual related?
Yes, of course, of course. So thank you first of all for having me here. I really appreciate it. I'm excited. I am Jenny Francois and I am light worker, root worker. And I am here to just basically shine the light on everybody's lives and let them know what life has for them, their soul journey. And this is what I was called to do. So this is where I am. This is what I'm doing.
Well, I appreciate you for coming, okay?
Yes,
Like, this is a very interesting topic. This is very interesting. Okay, so you ready for the first question?
yes, girl. Because let me tell you something. Before you give me these questions, so I, I looked at the questions and I was like, I'm just gonna let this ride. So we're gonna shuffle up the questions and then we're gonna let it ride. So let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna let it ride. Okay, first of all, do you consider yourself to be a medium?
Honestly, I do
No.
not.
Okay, can you tell me why not?
Why not is
Well,
because
wait, explain to the people what a medium is and why you don't consider yourself a medium.
okay, so I consider myself so the definition of a medium, more so the definition of a medium and a psychic, I think that was one of your questions. The differences between the two is a medium uses more so soul to get messages across. For example, if I'm doing a reading for you, I can maybe challenge, maybe a grandmother will come through directly to help me to give messages to you, or maybe that grandmother has a message for you, or maybe someone that has transitioned on. So it's more so connected to soul.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a psychic use more so intuition, clairvoyancy, tarot cards. So a lot of times mediumship doesn't really need tarot cards. Like they can just be in the grocery store and then a loved one comes up to them and say, hey, I got a message for this person. And that's how they deliver the message. So mediumship is more so tied to getting their direction through a source that is not of human form, if that makes sense.
Okay, you said a psychic is what again?
More so intuition based. So I can read cards, to help assist, and I can read your energy. That's why a lot of the readings that I do, I like to do video chat. I like to do in person because I'm feeding on your energy and trusting in my intuition and not necessarily waiting on a soul source.
Okay, gotcha. So you consider yourself more so of a psychic than a medium?
So you can be a mediumship psychic. So I feel if I wanted to put a label on myself, even though I consider myself a light worker, but if I had to put a label, it would be mediumship psychic because I use both. So someone from the afterlife, someone a soul related can come to me and have a message for you. So I can use it that way. I don't always have to use cards. Messages don't always come through with cards. So I'm like a combination of both. Which you can do. Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain to the people who don't know, like people who have no idea anything about spirituality and readings, explain exactly what a reading is?
So we all have intuition. We all have intuition is how we tap into that type of intuition. A lot of us are more advanced than others, but everybody has intuition. For example, you know how that time you could have that gut feeling and say, dang, I knew I shouldn't have made that left. I should have made that right. That's your intuition. Mm-hmm. Everybody has that. So with people like myself, our intuition is just a little bit more advanced. So we're able to trust our intuition more, our clairvoyancy. It has a lot to do with ancestral background, generational as well. My background, I'm Haitian. So I do have an extra layer of things as well that assists me with readings and so on and so forth. So it's more so intuition, clairvoyancy. We all have this gift. There's nobody, like, I'm not better than anybody else. Like, you have this gift. It's all about how advanced you are and how much you want to be tapped into it. That is all.
Okay. So wait, did you answer the question, like, what is a reading? Like, what do some people consider to be a reading?
A reading is basically, for me in general, when I give someone a reading, is me giving you a light path.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we're all here, humans having a soul experience, right? We are in human form, but we all have souls, right? And so we decided to come back into this journey again so that we can learn lessons that we've learned, we didn't learn in past lives. So we're like, okay, I want to get this right. Then I want to get this lesson right. So we have that opportunity to come back again in another form, in another body, in another human experience, so that this soul can go ahead and learn the lesson. So they put people like myself into your path to help you. That's all it is. It's just to help you to make sure that you're in the right journey. You're in the right path, to help you when you have those questions where you're like, dang, you know, am I going in the right direction? Is what I'm thinking is supposed to be right? It's not me telling you what you should or should not do. It's me helping you along your way to realize if what you're doing is the right thing, if what you're doing is in the right path, if what you already know is just clarity on your path. I'm here to help you clarify the path that you already know that you're on, basically.
Okay. Okay, so clarity. Oh, okay. So another question I have is, there are different types of mediumship. I don't know how to say them because they're all big words. They start with clairvoyant, clarity, is clear that. Okay, so can you break down each and every one of those? Do you know that?
Okay, I can't break down each and every one of them, but if I can generalize everything,
like, okay.
You have
okay, so the difference between like a clairsentient person and a clairvoyant, like, you know, some people they see things, some people they hear things, some people they know things. I don't know the difference between those three. And the title.
So when you see things, like for example, for me, I feel like I have the combination of all of them, right? I have the combination of, like, I could be walking down the street right now and I hear. And when you say hear, a lot of people think hear is like, you see how you and I are speaking and I hear you speaking. So a lot of times people hear, oh, you hear, and it's like a conversation, and it's not necessarily that. When you hear is basically like, you know how you speak to yourself. Like, you can be talking without talking, but you're in your head, right? And you're speaking to yourself, and it's like, should I make this left? And then you automatically answer yourself, and it's like, nah, bitch, you don't need to make that left. You need to go make a right. So it's kind of like something like that. It's not necessarily that you're hearing something per se. It's just your inner self speaking to you and helping you along the way. I don't know if I'm explaining that clearly or not, but
what's that called? What's that gift called?
Oh,
if you don't know, it's okay.
You putting me on the spot with that one, but I don't know. I'm very truthful. I don't know the definitions of every single one.
Okay.
You know, and I don't know the words of what goes with what.
Okay.
So,
all right. That's okay. Well, we're just going to tell the people. Some people they can hear things. Some people they can see things. Some people they know things. And I can feel things. You remember we talked about this, me and you. But yeah. So there's different types of mediumships per se. Like you know, we explained them, and I wish I did my, you know, maybe at the end, toward the end, I'm a Google search and let people know what's what. And it's like I think 5 or so of them.
And the thing about that, not to cut you off. So the thing about that is what I want to be transparent about, right? A lot of people feel when you have this gift, right? You're supposed to know any and everything. I'm the first one to tell you I don't know any and everything. Like, I have a friend of mine. She is all about the moons, the stars, astrology. Like, she can give you the depths of everything. Like, these questions that you're asking me, she would be able to answer every single one. She will be able to give it to you just like this, right? Then you have people like myself that are called to be light workers. Right? Light worker, helping someone on their journey, helping them to make sure that they're on the right path, they're going during the right direction, right? And then you have the one root worker, which is what I am as well. So I help you with self-care, herbal remedies. Like if you have things going on in your life and you need to shake it up, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to help with herbal remedies. That's what root working is. I use a lot of herbs, a lot of the world, of the roots of the world, Mother Nature. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has their different, I don't want to say jobs, but they all have their different paths when it comes to spirituality. So what I know, you may know. You may not know. And what you may know, I may not know, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever someone is on that type of journey and you don't know more than somebody else, quote unquote, that doesn't mean that you're not on the right path. That doesn't mean that what you're doing is not correct. That doesn't mean that you're not where you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I already asked that question. Well, we already answered it. The difference between a medium and a psychic. We answered that. Yeah. Okay, so do you remember the first time like you felt something like at an early age, like you like, okay, this is not normal? Like the first time you discovered your gift, per se. What was that experience like? And how old were you and where were you at?
Girl. So the crazy thing is, right, I've always had intuition. Like my intuition had always been strong. And when I say that, like from a young age, I can remember from the age of 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll be at school and I'll be like, "Ooh, that girl's about to fall," and then boom, she falls. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll be, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and mom is gonna cook some chicken and rice," and I'll get home, chicken and rice. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought that I was a very good guesser. There it is. I thought I was a very good guesser, you know? I mean, I didn't know anything about it. And then being that I was raised super, super, super religious, like super religious, right? And that just never was a thing because it never was spoken in my household. You know, it was just wasn't a thing. So all these things that happened was just, oh, okay, intuition. And as I got a little bit older, I would hear things about spirituality, and I'm going to be truthful. Like I'll be looking at some friends of mine that were tapped in way before I was, and I'll be like, ooh, she nuts.
Mm-hmm.
She is not rap tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can be truthful, I'm like, yeah, something ain't right with her. You know, she's missing a couple puzzles. But it's because I was not tapped in, and I didn't know because I was here. I was given I was given religion.
Mm-hmm.
I was given religion. You know, and that's the difference between me and a lot of other people that I'm connected to. They were given religion, and because they were given religion, they didn't have the strength to remove themselves from that and find their own path, right? So for me, when things really, really hit, believe it or not, I'm 38 now. I'll be 39 next month, Scorpio season. Oh, yes, wonderful. And it happened when I was 37. Like, it literally just happened.
Really?
It hit me like a truck. Last year, May, I remember it like it was yesterday. I mean, I started to see sequencing of numbers. Like, I was like, why do I keep seeing this 555? Like, every time I looked at the clock, it was 555. I went to go buy something. My change was $5.55. You know, I started to notice, that was the first thing for me, a sequencing of numbers, right? Then I started to be on social media, and then it's like, I would see these same sequencing of numbers. I would see 333. I would see all these different things, you know? And then things started to happen in my life. Like at that time I was married. My marriage started to fall apart. You know, I was working my job, like a job that I worked in, they would give me certificates of being great. And then now they're talking about how I'm not being the employee that I need to be, you know? And just my world started shifting. You know, my world started shifting. And then one day when my boss called me and told me and confronted me about not doing my job, I was like, you know what, forget this. Didn't know where I was going to go. Didn't know what I was going to do. Didn't have a backup. Didn't have anything. I was just like, God is going to work things out. I don't need this stress. I got enough stress. And I just quit. When I tell you, I just quit. Didn't know what I was going to do. And that's when my spiritual journey started. Didn't have a job. Had time to sit down and think. Had time for spirit to really come to me. I started seeing like shadows. Girl, when I tell you I lost weight, I used to be 210 pounds, honey. 210 back in May. And when my spirituality happened, like things just started to shift for me, and I started to investigate more. I started to read more. I started to ask questions. You know, I even asked my mom questions. My mom is Seventh-day Adventist, and she's Haitian. So let me tell you something. She would not go into depths with me, and that makes things a little bit more advanced for me too, because, you know, being Haitian, there's voodooism in my background. There's voodooism in my generation, you know, and that don't skip no beat. What's your generation is your generation. That don't skip no beat. You know what I mean? No matter how much your people want to hide it from you, your people don't want you to tap into it. If it's gonna come, it's gonna come.
So do
you
you think that's why she was avoiding it? And do you think that's why she pushed religion so hard in your household growing up?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. Like my mother's mother was the biggest voodoo priest there was. Like people would walk, and I had to find this out on my own from my brother. People would walk from miles to come see this man. My mother's mother was another high priestess. You know what I'm saying? So when these people transition, this has to go on. You know, it's a generational thing. It has to go on. So they pick whom they want to give this gift to. And even if you know or you don't know, like a lot of people think, oh girl, you wasn't born in Haiti, because I wasn't born in Haiti. You know, even though I rep Haiti to the fullest, super Haitian, but I wasn't born in Haiti. I don't know, you know, I go every year. I was tapped in when it comes to Haiti, but I wasn't tapped into voodooism because that wasn't a thing. We went to church. I was raised Baptist. Then my mom became Seventh-day Adventist. You know what I mean? So this was nothing that I knew anything about. But once it's time for that gift to come to pass, when that gift is about to come and your ancestors want you to know what's tea, ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
No, and so that's why she was avoiding. So you, like you said, you had to find this out on you and your brother?
My brother, I thank goodness for my brother. Yeah, my oldest brother. He was very tapped into voodooism. You know, he's born and raised in Haiti. Older, he's like 50 plus years old. So he's
your mom's son?
I'm sorry?
This your mom's son?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You said he was born and raised in Haiti, and he been new. You were just out the loop.
Out the loop. No idea. And my mom ain't gonna tell me nothing because, like I said, she's you know, she's all about her religion now. You know, and the colonizers that's a whole nother story. We're gonna get deep into that. But the colonizers got a hold of her. And once the colonizers get a hold of you, you forget your roots. You forget your religion. You forget where you come from. You forget how you won your independence. And I told my mom that every day. I said, let me tell you something. When Haiti won their independence, they didn't win it with swords. They didn't win it with guns. They didn't win it with none of that stuff. They didn't have none of that stuff.
Let's talk about it.
They didn't have any of that stuff. How would they even afford? How would they even get any of that stuff, honey? It's spirituality.
And we're talking about an island that's half of an island. This size compared to this. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Ma'am, if you know, you know. So, but think about it. I was just talking to my girlfriend about this the other day. Think about it. We're all slaves, right? And they didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to write. They wanted us just to be dumb, right? And then all of a sudden now they care about us and they want us to read. And what was the first thing they gave us to read?
The Bible.
What was the first thing they gave us to read?
The Bible.
The Bible. And what is in the Bible? How you need to obey your master. Tap into it. Come on. And I tell my mom that every day. My mom is going to be 75. Matter of fact, my mom's birthday is on Halloween Day. Isn't that crazy? But I be like, Mom, think about it. The colonizers didn't care for us, but now all of a sudden they care for us and they give us a Bible that tells us all our do's and our don'ts.
Yeah.
Think about
it. So that's just. And do you think she's hiding? Do you think she has a gift too and she's hiding it?
Oh, my mom definitely has a gift. Oh, my mom definitely has a gift. Oh, for sure. My mom definitely has a gift. And she's hiding it in I I hate to say it that way, but I feel like she's hiding it behind religion. But you know that was a thing that they did in Voodooism.
No, I didn't know. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, yeah. So when it comes to Voodooism, for example,
Okay.
right?
Hold on. Let's break down the difference between voodoo and hoodoo for those that don't know. Because I'm not fully educated on the difference, but I know that there's a difference.
So there's not a major difference, but there is a difference, right? When it comes to hoodooism, first of all, we're all of African descent. We all, our ancestors, all of us, we're coming from some part, some, specific area of Africa, right? So then we're all broken up. So then when it comes to hoodooism, that's more so, it's not a religion.
Right. Okay.
Voodooism is a religion.
Okay.
Right? And we're the part of Africa where all the people that were migrated from there, a lot of them migrated to Haiti. And that's why voodooism is more directed towards Haitians more so than anybody else. Not saying that it's only closed to Haitians, but majority of it is Haitians, and where you see New Orleans as well, Creole. You have Haitian Creole and then you have New Orleans Creole. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of us, we're migrated over there as well. So it's all depending on where you're migrated from. So hoodooism is more so open practice, but not open practice to people that are not of African descent. So let me make that clear. So if you're not of African descent, you cannot practice hoodooism. It's not open to you.
It is what it is.
Voodooism is more so, connected to what we call bon Dieu, right? Bon Dieu, if you break down the word of bon Dieu, is good God, right? So it's our God, right? Everybody has a God that they serve. Nobody has a right or wrong God. But most of us in all religions, we all believe that there is a higher power, someone that's higher than us, that's better than us. You know what I'm saying? That got this world moving, right? So we have bon Dieu. So we believe that bon Dieu, now we cannot connect directly to bon Dieu because a lot of us we believe that we are God. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, even the Bible, it tells you that. That's our Father. We are God, right? So when it comes to bon Dieu, he puts these people, these entities, these laws, we call them laws. We're talking about voodooism, right? So hoodoo doesn't have laws. Right? So when you do certain work and these laws, they're designated to certain things, right? So you have the laws of the sea. Like me, I have La Sirène. La Sirène is a mermaid, right? Is the mermaid of the sea, the queen of the sea, right? My girl used to call me, she always calls me her mermaid, right? So that's a whole nother thing. Whereas hoodoo doesn't have the same thing, and it's not as closed off. Hoodooism is not as closed off as voodooism. Voodooism has a lot of rules. It has a lot of regulations. It has a lot of respect. Not saying voodooism doesn't have respect. It's just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And to make something clear, people, New Orleans and Haiti are not the only two places that practice these things. And
not
I feel
at
like
all.
that is a very poor misconception about both of those places. Voodoo, mm-hmm. They have very negative connotations against those. And literally people in Georgia never stepped foot in New Orleans nor Haiti have practiced these things. And the Carolinas, okay, and mm-hmm. Florida. Mm-hmm. It's not just those places, and I hate that they get those reputations for being nasty. Mm-hmm. It's not you just don't know who practice what and who know who. Like I said, we're just gonna keep it at that. Those are not the only two places in Africa that practice these, voodoo and hoodoo. Mm-hmm. So let's just clear that up, okay?
And
they call it different things.
They're no different from the only difference is, like I said, there's more rules when it comes to voodooism, and voodooism is a religion where hoodooism is not.
Right. And depending on where you go, they call it different things. It's just got a different name to it. That's it. That's all. So
that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other thing which I want to make clear as well is the colonizers make it so demonic, which I commend you for having this around the time of Halloween. Because yes, we have Gede. You know what I'm saying? Like Haitians, like we love Halloween because it's a time where we do pay respects to the dead. We do pay respect to our ancestors, that was here before us, that allow us to be where we are right now. You know what I mean? But they make it so demonized. They make it, and even me being raised, in the household that I'm at, and even till this day, they make it seem like it's so horrible. It's so gothic. It's so, deadly or whatever. And it's like, what you don't know.
Yeah, and it's just like saying all Christians are good Christians. That's not true. And that's not saying all voodoo priestesses are bad people, because that's not true. Yeah, they have the bad ones that do bad things, and they also have bad Christians do bad things. So let's,
So that being said, let me give you an example. Like, I'm a light worker, right? So like, let's say somebody comes to me and say, Jenny, I need you to do some work because I want this guy. He did me so wrong, and I want you to mess up his life for doing me wrong. You got the wrong one. I don't do that. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm called to do. And I don't knock anybody, because where there's light, there's dark. Where there's dark, there's light. I don't knock anybody that does it, but that's not what I'm called to do. Now, what I'm called to do is, now this woman or man, whatever, goes and do this to this person, right? Put whatever they want to put on them. Now, that person that has something put on them, they come to me and say, look, I don't know what's going on in my life. Something has been put on me. I don't understand what it is. I need help. That's where I come in. I'm a light worker. I'm here to put you back on your path. I'm here to put you back where you need to be. Because guess what? You can put light in dark, but you can't put dark in light.
Let's talk about it. I've been seeing these TikToks recently about how it's not just women, because a lot of people, they assume that women do the work, or the spell casting and whatnot. And it was like, actually, men do it too, and people don't talk about
it. Heavily, honey. Yes, they do. So these women, let me tell y'all something. If there's women on this chat, on this live, don't underestimate these men. If anything, these men are more powerful most of the time. I know a lot of people that do work, and guess what they are? Male.
That's crazy. I would never suspect.
Male.
That's crazy.
So don't be sleep. Don't be sleep when it comes to these men, honey. Do not be sleep, because that is definitely a misconception for sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, we kind of answered a lot of these questions as we just, continuing on having a chat. One said sometimes more than women. I agree. Okay, so we kind of answered this question. So, like, do you think the people in your family thought that, or because it happened last year, do you think people think that you're weird now, like, for going this route versus the Christian route? Have you had that talk with your family?
So I have 3 girls, all right, and they are all in different age ranges, right? And when I started going through my spiritual awakening, that's what it's called, a spiritual awakening, and I started to tell them about what was going on, I was terrified, because I thought that they would judge me. I thought they would feel some type of way about it. But they were so open. They were so accepting. They were like, my kids are very, very gifted as well. They're very gifted. My kids are very gifted. They're very open as well. And when I brought matter of fact, my middle child actually was more into it, I feel like, before even me. I mean, she had the evil eye bracelet and, speaking about crystals and different things like that. And I'm like, you know what I mean? So I was lucky that I didn't have to go through that stage of people looking at me weird when it comes to my family. And it's the same thing when it comes to, like, friends. I lost a whole lot of friends. Spirit team, and let me clear what spirit team is. I tend to say spirit team a lot. Okay. So your spirit team, instead of you having to name every single one, Your spirit team is basically what it is. Your spirit team. First of all, the person that you put first and foremost in your life, for me, is Bonzier. Bonzier is first and foremost of my life, which is God, right? Then falls after that is your ancestors, your spirit guides, those who has transitioned on, your grandmother, your grandfather, those people, everybody's in the afterlife combines together, makes your spirit team. So a lot of times we want to break them down individually. Loas too, like being Haitian, you have your different deities, your loas, your goddesses, orishas, all these different things, they all combine and make your spirit team. So whenever I say spirit team, that's what I mean, because I don't want to leave nobody out. You know how, like, you're going to give a thank you to everybody, like everybody want to say happy birthday to you, and then you don't want to leave nobody else and be like, thank you to everybody. So that is one of those things. So that way nobody don't feel no type of way, if that makes sense. So, what was I saying before? I know I kind of sidetracked.
I asked you about your family, like, and how did they feel? What about your extended family?
The only person, if I can be truthful, that I know will never be okay with where I've come to in my life is my mother. And it's unfortunate because I know she could teach me so much. You know what I mean? If she really wanted to, she could teach me so much. But the thing is, where you're destined to be, you're going to be, regardless of what they teach you or don't teach you. Where you're destined to be, you're going to be. Look at me now. Like, I didn't expect to know that I'm going to look at somebody and be like, ooh, and know all your business. Or I didn't expect to feel somebody's energy and know that that person needs a hug and just randomly hug a stranger and they balls. Girl, let me tell you, the other day I went to Publix. And I walked into Publix, and there's this guy that I used to go to the church with when my mom was super Baptist or whatever. We went to the same church back in Florida. Let me tell you, when spirit's gonna do what they're gonna do, honey. When you gotta work, they're gonna make you work regardless. So this is back in Florida. So randomly I would go to the Publix and I'll see this guy. And I'm like, oh, hey. And he remembered me. I didn't even remember the man. He had a call, So long story short, I had called my daughter and I told my daughter, I said, I don't know. I feel some type of way about the guy at Publix. Like, I don't know. It's weird. And she was like, well, Mom, maybe you need to go pay him a visit. I said, you know what? You're right. Do you know? The next day I walked into the Publix and this man's picture was at the front door. The man done passed away.
Are you serious?
The man done passed away, girl. I was so shook. And I think one of your questions was, what do I not like about my gift? That was the specific question I think you asked me.
I think that was one of them.
So what I don't want to say that I don't like, but kind of makes me feel uneasy. I have a gift of helping people, once again, light, right? I have a gift of helping people to transition. For example, I helped my dad transition. I lost my dad in April. And I was called to go see him. Just a random, I need to go see him. It was literally a weekend, and I went to go see him. Sorry if I get a little emotional, but I went to go see him, and my mom and I picked up my mom, and we went. This was in Florida, and we went to go see him. And literally, as I got to the door, I was like, oh. I walked in, and I pulled the curtain, and they was giving him a bed bath, and he was like, so they call me June. Till this day, let me tell you. Haitians have a habit of giving you a name, baby. If there's any Haitians on this live, please say yes they do, because you know what I'm talking about. They'll give you a name that ain't got nothing to do with your name. Like, you'll just get these random names that ain't got nothing to do with you. And when you ask them, how did I get this name? They can't even give you an answer. But anyway, so I have this name called June, like the month, June. All my family, my mom, my dad, my brothers, everybody, they call me June. Still this day, don't have no idea why they call me that name. But anyway, so he looked up to me. He was like, June. And I kind of nodded at him when he called my name. I just nodded. And I told my mom, I said, I'll be back. And I went I think to the dollar store. I needed something at the store or something like that, and I walked to the store. And I knew that was going to be the last time that I saw my dad alive. Like, I just knew it. Like, I felt it all inside. I felt everything. I knew it was going to be the last time that I was going to see him. And before that, like like I told you, my kids are very tapped in as well. My middle child and I, we went to brunch. And while we were at brunch, a bird literally fell from the sky. Mm-hmm. And landed in front of us. And then before that, there was a dead bird in my parking lot. So that's how spirit tells me that someone in my family, someone close to me, is going to transition. Mm-hmm. Literally the next day, I'm getting on the plane. I'm getting on the plane to come back to Georgia, and my mom calls, screaming and yelling. Mm-hmm. And you know what else is hard? Like, even someone else that's close to me, I had to ask her. I said, if this person were to transition, will you feel bad? Will you be mad at me? It's hard because, you have these people that it's time for them to go, and they need you to help them to go to the next level, the next life, and they need you to help them transition. That is hard. Because you kind of feel like, dang, am I the reason why this person died? And really, it's not. It's just they needed that okay. They needed that person to, to help them to transition. And that, if I have to say the hardest part of my spirituality, my gift, that is the hardest part. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are really, really sick, and they just need that. It's okay to let go. And that's what I do. Yeah.
That's okay. That answered the question. And yeah, I can imagine that's hard, and feeling not regret. Would it be remorse? Like, okay, so if you were put in that situation, would you tell somebody, or you would ask them, like, do you mind if I tell you?
As far as them transitioning, you mean?
Somebody that you know. Like, let's just say you had a friend and you knew her grandmother was about to pass. Like, would you ask her, like, or you just wouldn't, you just let it happen?
Like I said, I had that happen. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I asked. I was like, would you be sad or mad at me to know that I helped your grandmother get to where she needed to be? Mm-hmm. And they said no. Because the grandmother had been going through a lot, and they have been feeling bad. They have, and literally when I said that, I would say a few days later,
it happened. Yeah.
It happened.
That's why I don't want to go to no psychic. So, like, someone that's their lane. Like, that's their lane. I'm too scared.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. We all have that fear, right? A lot of people are like, I ain't afraid to die. I'm ready to go. Da-da-da. I don't care how much of a gangster you are. Okay. Because, like me, let me tell you, every day I be like, dang. I don't want to go yet. Like, I want to see my grandbabies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see if I'm going to make it rich. If I'm going to win the lottery. Like, I ain't ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A lot of us, we make it seem like, we good. But realistically, some of us are afraid to transition, especially when we don't know for sure what's going to happen on the other side. Mm-hmm. We don't know what's going to transpire. You know what I'm saying? So
it's not just for me. It's not just for me, but like, I don't want someone to tell me if one of my loved ones is going to pass away. I would rather just be.
And I would respect that. Now, if you are a reader and you are called to do this gift and you are empathic, if you see a message that may make that person uneasy, I always ask my people. I said, look, I see a message here that may make you a little uneasy. Do you want to hear it, or do you want it to just happen? Like I had a friend recently. I told him, I said, look, no cars, no nothing. It just came to me. We were having lunch. I said, look, I need you to stop traveling so much. I need you to sit down. I need you to calm down. I need you to, because you're not traveling for work. You're just traveling for fun. I need you to chill out. Mm-hmm. I need you to calm down. He didn't listen. Do you know, literally 2 days later, he called me. He said, I should have listened. Where he at? In the hospital. Blood clots all down, up and down his legs.
Yikes.
Ever since then, he said, if you know something, don't tell me. Ever since then, he said, if you know something, don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know nothing. And I respect that. I can't be mad about that, because guess what? At the end of the day, if they give me a message, let me tell you, there was one time they gave me a message to give somebody, and I said, nah, I ain't gonna give it. I was sick as a dog. My kids can attest to that. I was throwing up. I had diarrhea. I couldn't eat. My stomach was hurting. Like my head, I was all discombobulated. Like I couldn't move because I did not give a message. I didn't give a message that I was supposed to give. Now, if I say I have a message for you and you say I don't want it, I did what I was supposed to do. I did what I was supposed to do. My hands are clean. You know what I mean? So I can't speak for all other practitioners, but as far as me, if I have a message for someone and they don't want to hear it, I respect that, because I did what I was supposed to do.
Let them know that it's there. It's up to them if they want to read it or not.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, so where's this question? Okay. Why do you think, we kind of already tapped into this. We kind of, like I said, we answered like all these questions, started asking all the questions. Yeah. But if we can reiterate it. Why do you think people, the colonizers, the answer, I'm just answering. Why do you think people think that practitioners of voodoo, hoodoo, and all African religions are considered to be evil?
Because they make it out to be that.
Okay, better question. Why do you think it's called white magic when it's like Harry Potter and, you know, the fun white stuff, and black magic when we do it?
Because we're powerful. Let me tell you something, girl. If we all got united and we knew our power and we knew what we can do, these colonizers they would not have a chance. But we getting there though. Let me tell you something. We getting there. More and more and more of us are getting tapped in. We're getting into places. Our ancestors are putting us into places that we never thought that we would. Let me tell you something. Our ancestors don't play. They're like, we didn't get a chance, but look, we're going to make sure y'all had the chance. These colonizers don't have a chance at all. But once we all get united and we know our power and we know what we can do, and we know that what we speak out our mouths, we can have. When we start to trust our intuition, when we start to celebrate our ancestors for what they've done, for what they've gone through. I mean, look at that broil. Let's be a little funny for a little bit. That Alabama broil, baby.
Let's talk about it, because I think I know what it's doing.
Let's talk about it. Do you know what happened before that? Do you know they had a veneration an hour before that happened? They were out there celebrating the ancestors an hour before that happened.
Yes, I heard about that. Yep. Because there was an import where slaves came into through, was it Montgomery, Alabama? That's where it took place, right? I think.
And you're going to have the nerve to kind of try to tell us what to do? What we've been through at that same specific area? What we've been through? How y'all drowned us in that same specific area? And you're going to try to tell us what to do? Oh, baby. Did you see that man jump off the damn boat and swam across?
Yes. He actually got a reward for that recently, actually. So
I don't know. Look, as he should.
Yes, I heard about that. That's actually a good point. Like, that was so, I was looking back at some memes about that the other day. I was like, that was such a powerful moment. So powerful. And I need that to happen again.
Oh, it will. Oh, it will. Oh, it will. Oh, baby, we're going to take over. We're going to take over. We're already taking over, honey. We're in the White House multiple of times, even though some of us are a little shaky. But we're in the White House. We are in places. We're in the governors. We are in places that they never thought we would be.
Hmm.
We are in places that they thought we would never be, honey. We quitting our jobs. We're quitting our jobs. You know how many people are quitting their jobs so they can be entrepreneurs? Because our ancestors don't want us to work for no more. They're like, we did enough working for them. We don't want y'all working for them no more. How many of us are being entrepreneurs?
A lot of people. Yeah. And not wanting to work, period.
Period. Period. Once we tap into what we can do, what we can tap in, what we can do, and we believe that what they're saying is evil, because it be them. Mm-hmm. When they say what's evil, I mean, yes, there's evil. Let me not make it seem like there's not. There's evil. But you know where that comes from? It comes from the time of slavery when they put us against each other. When they used to put the light-skinned Africans in the house because they look more like them so they can serve them food. So now the light-skinned ones think that they're better than us because we're darker. That's where all that division is coming in. They caused the division. That's why we can't never be united, because they bended the division. Once we realize that the division started with them and it's not really with us, can you imagine what we can do?
Jenny, I don't know. I feel like we're a long way from that. I be looking at certain.
We are.
It's hard. It's hard. Some people, they just so lost. And I just.
Yes, COVID. Yes, ma'am. COVID. Yes. The comment said COVID is the start of that. Yes, ma'am. Come on now. Come on now. We are a long way, but I feel like we have come a long way.
That's true. That's true.
Come a long way. It's not going to happen overnight. Mm-hmm. They're terrified. That's why. Let me tell you something. That's why they're so strict on abortions. You think it got something to do with us? Girl, it ain't got nothing to do with us. Because guess what? They people are drifting away. Mm-hmm. Their people are drifting away. And there's more and more and more and more and more and more of us. So now there's like, okay, we got to get, now they're giving them money. Do you know that they're paying people now to have children? They ain't paying us.
No, I didn't know that.
They're not paying us, but they're giving them money so they can have children. They're pushing us to go and have donors, their donors, so that they girl, come on.
That. Now, I do know about that. I know about that. And what she's talking about, guys, is how when you go to a sperm bank, let's just not get whether the sperm is white or non-black, because they don't promote this to black men so they could donate their sperm because they don't want them to have black kids, is what she's talking about. And it's harder because that's why a lot of lesbian couples have biracial kids. If y'all want to keep it real, that's the answer, because they don't push for black men to donate their sperm.
Because they don't want any more of us, honey. We already taken over. We already taken over. And I do believe that we are all going to get on one accord. And once we start to tap in for real, and we start to know who we are and where we've come from. Look at Beyonce. Beyonce on a mission. I don't care what nobody say. And I never used to be, let me tell you something. I never used to be a Beyonce fan. But when I got into spirituality and I got into my spiritual awakening and I listened to that Renaissance album, baby. Go listen to it. Go listen to it. We in formation. She's telling y'all to quit these jobs. Y'all need to get into that energy.
We gotta say allegedly. With certain people names, we gotta say allegedly.
Oh, allegedly. Okay.
Okay, because you know.
But she say it in her music.
That's true. She does.
I'm not saying nothing that she hasn't said. She said it in her music. She said she's a child of Oshun.
That's true.
She said it in her music. I'm not saying what she hasn't said.
Yeah.
I'm a child of Oshun. That's why I'm wearing yellow right now. She called me today. She said, baby, I need you to wear that. Because I walked into my closet. I said, all right, people, what y'all want me to do today? And she said, it's me. And make sure you spray some perfume, too. I want you to smell good. I said, okay, I got you.
Got you. Okay, so my next question to you is, are there some, I don't know, I guess I've seen this on TikTok, but someone was talking about
Not
how,
this
or maybe it was, I know, maybe it was me and you had this conversation before, but they were saying like everybody, all of your ancestors don't want the best for you. Do you believe that to be true?
Yes.
And why do you think that is?
Yes. Very true. So a lot of times we think that, like for example, God God forbid, God forbid, something were to happen to my mom right now. I ain't gonna call upon that lady.
You're not gonna do what?
I'm not gonna call upon her.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Why?
Because in this life, she did not agree with what I was doing.
Okay.
It's just like you have cousins and aunties and shit, brothers, excuse my French, people that don't care for you here in this round. What makes you think they any different in the next round?
That's true.
They're no different. That's why whenever you call upon your ancestors, you say the ones that want nothing but the highest good. The ones that want nothing from, they ain't no different from here, from there, no different.
Mm.
So don't be just calling on any kind of ancestors, honey, because it's true.
Mm.
It's true. The same way they don't care for you here, honey, they don't care for you over there.
Mm. And how far? Okay, and is it true that everybody on our spirit team is not related to us, or is everybody on our spirit team, or were they related to us at some point?
So that gets deep.
Okay, can we go there? You want to go there?
So the reason why I say that gets deep, right? I feel everybody that's in your spirit team is connected to you when it comes to ancestral. Ancestral is your ancestors, your mother's mother, 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 brother, 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 brother. You know what I'm saying? It goes back and back and back for trillions and quadrillions of years, right? But for example, I have a friend that transitioned. I definitely feel like she's part of my spirit team.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like she's a part of my spirit team because there's some things that happen and I'll randomly think about her.
Mm-hmm.
Close friends can definitely be part of your spirit team for sure. Like there'll be times that something's gonna happen and it'll be related to her, and then boom, and I'll be like, oh, and I think about her, and it'd be like, oh, even my pastor. Let me tell you something. Even my pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Transitioned, and when I was trying to find a home, I went to sleep and I heard in my sleep, in my dream, it was like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna get a home, you're gonna be great. Do you know the street that I'm living in, the area where I'm living in, has his name in it?
Don't tell me. Hold on. Well, no, I'm not going to put your address, but that's, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely believe that, yes, it can be other people, but majority and the source of it is your ancestors that goes back from years and years and quadrillions of years and years and years and years.
Okay, so I have another ancestral question. So like because of the slave trade, well, I guess those are not good ancestors.
What do you say?
Mm.
What do you mean? Go ahead and
I'm trying to find the question. I'm trying to put it together. Okay. Let's say we have a person of a biracial background.
Okay.
Of a white background. How do you think their spirit team works compared to ours? I think that's
no different from us.
Okay. Because sometimes I do feel funny, like when, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, but when they say, oh, I have a spirit team, I'm like, because I think it's, culturally related to us, but I guess, like you said,
oh, no, baby, they definitely have a spirit team.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. Spirit team is not only connected to us. Oh, yeah, definitely. They have a spirit team, too. There's a lot of them out here that's tapping in.
Yes.
That's tapped in deep.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, don't mistake that, baby. They tapped in, too.
Yeah, they are. I guess it was just more like an ignorant standpoint from my point of view,
Mm-hmm.
because but yes, because I've actually met someone who had a medium reading done by a white lady, and it was scary accurate. Scary accurate.
Two of my readings that I did was people that were not of African descent. And everything that they said was on point.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're gonna say this real quick and we're gonna leave it alone. They are us.
Mm-hmm.
If you get into the science of things, honey, they are us. We make them.
Mm-hmm.
We were here first. They were not even in existence, honey. If you go back to history, they were not even of existence. They are of us. We are not of them.
Mm-hmm. And then also, like you said, it's for whatever spirit team wants best for you, regardless of anything. So, yeah.
And that's why you always want to make that clear. Mm-hmm. You always want to make that clear, because we definitely have a lot of colonizers in our generational ancestry.
That's what I was initially trying to figure out how to word that question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a whole lot of them. A whole lot of them. And all we can do, because, they impregnated us. Mm-hmm. So once again, whenever you try to venerate any kind of ancestors, you always want to make sure that it's for your highest good, the ones that want nothing but the best for you. You always want to make that clear first and foremost, because not all of them want the best for you.
Gotcha. Okay, so out of all of the readings you've had done, or like encounters you've had, was there one that stood out to you in like a weird way, and it was just like very memorable, and it was like, what the fuck was that?
Girl, I got a lot of those.
Okay, do you want to share?
I got a lot of those. It's funny because this person said, do I see ghosts? And that was actually one of the ones. That spirit aligning. Okay, so long story short, I was just tapping into my spirituality. And my cousin's husband had just moved here. And I had asked a friend about a job opportunity, and they told me that Publix was hiring. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take you here. It was like a mass hiring where everybody just come, what is it called? Open house. And so I took him, and at that time I had my cards with me, because I was, getting accustomed to my cards. So everywhere that I went, I took my cards with me. So he went inside, and I was literally outside, and I said, oh, let me get my cards. So I got my cards, and I'm sitting literally like way across from where he's at, sitting on a bench. And when I'm sitting on the bench and I'm kind of like just shuffling my cards, about to pull cards for me that day, this cricket, a green cricket, it was probably about this big. Mm-hmm. And it sits, because I was sitting on the bench, and it sat like on the, on the back side of the bench. And I kind of looked over, and I was like, what's up? Because I knew it wasn't just a random cricket, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, what's up? And I continued to do what I was doing. And then it got a little closer to me. And I was like, all right, what's going on? You got a message for me? You need me to do something? Like, what's going on? So I see, as I'm asking that, and I look up, and I see a young lady way across the, the way, and she's smoking a cigarette, and she's chilling. And I was like, oh, this message is for her. But I'm just starting, so I'm like, I'm scared. I don't want to just approach something. I don't want nobody saying that I'm being human. And I'm like, I ain't gonna go tell the lady nothing. So I'm just still, looking at my cards. I'm looking at my cards. And I look up, do you know that lady walked from clear across the other way and came and sat next to me? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, Spirit, y'all playing. I got goosebumps thinking about it right now. I'm like, dang, Spirit, really? I was like, all right. So I said to her, I said, hey. She was like, hi. I was like, how you doing? She was like, I'm good. I said, I'm not trying to, disrespect you. I'm not trying to interfere in your space. I said, my name is Jenny. I'm a light worker, and I have a message for you. If you're open for me to give it to you, I would love to give it to you. If not, I respect that. I don't want nothing from you. I don't need no money. I don't need nothing from you. I just want you to know that I have a message for you. Don't even know what the message is yet. I just know that I have a message. So she was like, kind of like what you said. She was like, well, if it's something bad, I don't want to know. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I don't know what the message is. I just have to let you know that I have it for you. And if you're open to it, we can exchange numbers and I'll have it for you. And she's like, okay. So she gives me her number and she leaves. So then I call her and I was like, let me know when it's best, you know, for us to communicate, blah, blah, blah. So then she calls me and then I do my cards or whatever. And I was like, you have a lover that transitioned? And she was like, yeah, my boyfriend. I said, oh. So the cricket was her boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
So instantly when I acknowledged him, I got upset. I got this whole rage inside of me. I was like, oh, girl, he mad at you. I said, girl, he's mad at you. Why is he mad at you? What did you do? And as I'm telling her that, there was a picture of her and him on her wall, and it fell. Literally fell, shattered. And then I said, what did you do? I said, but baby, if you don't tell me, guess what? He gonna tell me. So you might as well tell me. She would not tell me. Long story short, because I know we cut the time. Long story short,
I'm not. You are, okay, but I'm not.
Long story short, she was cheating on him with her best friend. So the whole time he thought that they were best friends. This is another woman. He thought that they was just best friends or whatever, and they would be around each other and this, that, and the other. He found out that they had been cheating the whole entire time of their relationship.
And so how did she receive this that he knew now?
She's like, well, tell him I'm sorry. And I said, well, honey, he ain't taking the sorry. I said, you see all this karma you've been having, that's him. Let me tell you something about karma. Karma don't play. And she said, damn, I've been going through so much in my life. I said, it's him. It's not funny, but I'm like, it's him. All that karma is him. Like, this man really loved you. He really trusted you. He really cared for you. He really, you know what I'm saying? And you screwed him up. And all this karma, this is your karma. This is your karma. And you're going to have to play through your karma. And she asked me, she said, well, if I leave her, will my karma go away? I said, do you think? I said, ma'am, let me tell you something. I said, let's be realistic. Do you really think that karma going to go away? You're going to play out that karma till it's done. If that karma
he's finished with
you for a year, you're going to have a year of karma. There's nothing you can do to erase that karma. That's why they always say, do right by people. Do right. Do right. If you do something unintentional, that's different. Like if you do something like, oh shoot, I didn't know I was supposed to, that's different. But if you purposely do something like that, like what she did, even in the afterlife, karma come for you. And he really wanted her to know. You made your bed, you got to sleep in it. Yep, that's it. And that was the craziest one because it felt like it was a soap opera. And I was calling my daughters, I was calling my girl, I was calling everybody like, bitch. Listen, this like a soap opera. You know what I'm saying? You here with this person and this person is thinking this is your best friend and you over here sleeping with them. That's crazy. Yes, that's crazy. And you think that just because he's dead that it's gonna go away? No, baby, they are here. And he was shocked. And until he has justice, he's gonna be roaming around until he has justice. His case is definitely still open and he's still roaming around until he gets justice for him to lay to rest. You gotta be right. You can't go around doing crazy shit in the world. Karma don't play. It comes back, But yeah, that was my craziest reading that I've ever. I think that was my craziest one. That hit different. That one definitely hit different.
Are you pressed for time?
Nope, not at all. What's up?
So what was the most scariest? Like you was like, oh, fuck no, like I want nothing to do with this. I can't. Like, or have you handled all your situations? You like, you know what?
I've never had one where I can't well, I think the hardest one was diagnosing someone.
With what?
I had a patient, a client that came, and she had cancer, and it had been cleared, and the cards told me that she would go into remission. And I asked her, I said, I have a message for you. Do you want it? I said, it's not going to be a great message, but do you want it? And I told her, because she wanted to hear it. So I told her that her cancer was coming back. And she was like, no, because I've been taking my meds. I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I hope that I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. This is one of the instances that I want to be wrong. But I wasn't wrong. And that was hard. That's hard. That's really, really hard. Having to tell somebody something about their life that is not great, or telling somebody that their spouse is cheating on them and they're loyal. Do you know how hard that is? Like being with somebody, they know that this person has got their back, that there's no signs and the cards are saying, oh no, do you remember when he went on this trip? Or do you remember when he said he was going to the store and he was like, what you going to the store for? Do you remember? It's hard. It's hard to give those messages. It's really hard, but if they come, you got to give it to them.
Yeah. Have you had any scary encounters? Like,
girl, yes, I see dead people all the time. It's not as scary now. It's not as scary now. But when I first started, when I said I see shadows on the side, people will come to me asking.
Wait, okay. So because it's Halloween, I want you to tell all. But I thought you said you don't see dead people.
Oh, I see them. And when I say, let me clarify. Okay. When I say I see them, you see how I'm looking at you right now, right? I don't see them, but I guess you could say I feel them. I guess you could say that word. I feel them, but I see them. You know what I mean? Like I could be like, like I'll feel the energy. Like I would just look over and be like, I think I did a reading for you like that once, where your grandmother came through, and it was just like, oh, there she go. Yeah. And I've had other readings where I'll be like, oh, there she goes. She's a little short. Like it'll give me little
details, like
right. But it's not like how I'm looking at you now. Okay. So I'll say I see them, but it's not really like I see them. You know what I mean?
See them.
Some people see them, and that's where mediumship comes in. That's where mediumship comes in. Like mediums, people that actually speak to the dead. That's what they are. That's like what their gift is. They will see them. Okay. They'll see them. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead with your story. What you were saying, like you see them.
Yeah, in the beginning it was hard. It was very hard. I was scared. Girl, I would go days without sleeping. I would be afraid to close my eyes. I wouldn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like once that third eye open, that's why I be telling my kids, I be telling everybody, I say, take it slowly when it comes to spirituality. Because once that third eye opens, once you're awake, ain't no going back to sleep. People in the comments know what I'm talking about. Tell me, ain't no going back to sleep. Put it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Ain't no going back to sleep. Okay? It's either you're just going to have to ride with it, find a way to get through. Even me till this day, sometimes I'm afraid of my own spirit team. I be like, look, y'all know I'm scary. Don't be popping up out nowhere now. You got to talk to them and they'll listen. They'll listen. I'll be like, now y'all know I'm scared. Then I have one of my girls in the live now. She'll be like, I want them to talk to me. I want them to be clear as day. Speak, yell, scream. I'll be like,
No.
Talk to me like a baby. Talk to me like a baby. I'm
Literally,
sorry.
just like that, like a baby,
I'm
like a baby.
sorry. So you know how they talk to me? You want to know the first way that they spoke to me? And I still have the picture on my phone. I was outside and I was putting one in the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a blue butterfly. No, I lied. The first thing that I saw, I was taking a walk, and this was in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking, and a black feather just flew from in front of me. Just didn't see the bird, didn't see anything, just a feather. And I'm like, where did this come from?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I needed to pick it up, and I picked it up. And so when I spoke to my brother about it, my brother was like, "Oh, that's your beginning. You know, that's the answer. That's your people telling you, like, sis, we about to tap into you." I still kept that feather to this day. Then the second time, like I said, I was outside putting one in the air, and a butterfly, I'm just sitting, and a butterfly just shoo. I said, "Oh," and instantly my intuition said, "Oh, that's your people." And I said, "Okay, well, if you're really my people, I need you to show me that you're really my people." I didn't even close my mouth yet. It went shoo right past my face again. I said, "Okay." I got goosebumps. I'm thinking about it now. Confirmation. I said, "Well, I need to take a picture for proof."
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Now, this is a butterfly. Now, you know butterflies, they will just run away. You get close to them. You know, they don't stick around.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So I said, I need to take a picture for proof.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys on the live, if you don't follow Soul Bloom 333, I need you to follow Soul Bloom 333 because I'm going to post it tomorrow, the butterfly, the pictures of the butterfly, so I can show you confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so the butterfly comes. I said, I need you to sit down so I can take a picture. So the butterfly goes and sits on the deck, and I take a picture. I said, well, I need you to turn around so I can. This is me, girl. I need you to turn around so I can believe it. I need you to turn around and give me another pose so I can take another picture. It turned around, closed its wings, and gave me the opportunity to take another picture.
Mm.
I said, I still don't believe you. I need you to open your wings and turn around again. It turned around again, opened its wings, and I took another picture.
That's crazy. I have a similar. Oh, it's not really similar, but so my granddad, he passed away like I want to say back in 04, 03. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, well, people don't know we have a animal that I talked to him with, okay? And I remember one year I was in college and I was like, I'm not gonna cry because it was like around the time of his death anniversary, and I was like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna think about it. And the whole day I was like with my friends and stuff. And then at night I was like, no, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm not gonna, I'm trying to psych myself into not thinking about it. So me and my friends, we ran to the dollar store, and I'm down. I don't even know what we went to go get, but I'm down the aisle, and I think it was like the home aisle where you see pictures and decorating and stuff. And I see the animal that's me and his animal, and I was like, I just immediately got chills and like my eyes started. He was like, girl, no, you're thinking about me. I'm going to show you. So that was my first time. I was like, no freaking way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. And they speak to us, especially those that loved us and that has transitioned. They always speak to us. We just have to be the one to listen. Just like they say, God speaks to us, and we just got to listen, right? God speaks to us. Our ancestors, our spirit team, our spirit guys, they speak to us on many different ways. We just have to listen. We have to listen. We have to see the patterns because they can't speak to us like we're speaking to each other here. So they have to drop tidbits. That's where cards come in, right? For me. Because like if I have a random person and I don't know nothing about them, sometimes I will have a message directly, like something major I have to tell them, and they call them downloads. I'll get a download and they'll be like, okay, I need you to give this message to this person. This is what the message has to say. Don't need no cards, don't need nothing. I just be like, all right, X, Y, and Z. And what I say is accurate, right? But then I like to use cards when I'm giving a reading because I want to be accurate and I want to be able to show. You know, I'm good with that. Like, you've gotten readings from me before. I like to show you, okay, you see the card. Like I have my cards now. Like, let me show you, for example, when I was preparing for this podcast, and I even put it on my story, I was channeling in, clearing my energy, calling my people, whatever. High Priestess. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it.
Confirmation. They're like, babe, you know what you're doing. You know who you are. On the top of the deck. Next deck that came out. I've brought both of my decks out. Queen of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Then I brought out my cards, my affirmation cards. I don't know if you can see it.
I can't. No, it's too small. I can't.
So it says, my intuition is strong and clear. I trust the voice within. I'm in an alignment. I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I like these cards. You know what I mean? Because even though I can read without them, but they help me to get deeper into what I need to say to my people, right? I can show them what I'm seeing. And even though it's a complete stranger and I don't know anything about them, they help me to, I think that was one of your questions too about the cards. Alignment, right? Alignment. Yes. I love it. I love being a light worker. And I don't want to say I don't care, but I don't care. I don't care what nobody thinks about me. I don't care if they think that I'm evil. I don't care if they think, because guess what? I know who I am. I know what I do, you know, and I know what I was called to do, and I know what I'm going to do. And what I do don't harm nobody. If anything, it blossoms their soul, and that's why I'm Soul Bloom. I help you along your journey. That's what I do.
You know, I think, no, you actually were the person that told me I was gifted. I still ain't figured it out yet, y'all.
It is, and I'm going to need you to tap in.
So I was going to tell the people, like, the first time it was around, I was in this agriculture class because I like animals and I like horses. You know, I like animals. So I was in this class because I thought we was going to learn about horses. And I don't know, it was like around, I don't know if it was around Halloween time or what, but I remember one time, it was in high school. I think my junior or sophomore year of high school, we was all talking around, well, it was all sitting around, and we were talking about ghosts. And then all of a sudden, I just remember, like, water just started coming down my eyes. I'm like, y'all, what the fuck? Like, I'm not crying. I was not crying. Water just started coming down my eyes. And then, like, ever since then, anytime I would have a conversation with somebody about ghosts or spirits, it would happen. Sometimes I would get chills, and it still happens to this day. Like, as you was telling your story, I was thinking about another story, and I was just like, oh, I still don't really know what it means. But the last time it happened was the other night. I was on the phone with my friend, and me and her, we love talking about celebrities, celebrity gossip, and conspiracy theories. And we got to talking about Whitney Houston. I forgot what exactly it was, but it happened, and it had never ever happened when I was talking about a celebrity. And I was like, y'all, what? I was like, literally, like, I don't know. It was very, very weird, because, like, it happens with personal people I'm talking to, but for a celebrity to come up, I don't know what it was that kind of just, like, made it happen. I was like, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think I told you, like, and I always tell everybody that I'm not one of those people that's gonna say, oh, I'm gifted and I'm better than you, and that's not me. And I know in the future, when I advance even more, I am going to open up a class. That's what my page is about. You know, I just started it, so it's very, you know, there's not a whole lot of information, but I am a teacher as well. I'm a light worker. I'm here to help people along their journey. I want you to tap into, that's just like my girlfriend. I tell her all the time, you have the gift of dreaming. I went and bought her what they call it, a journal. Like, she dreams a lot. And a lot of her dreams do come to pass, but until she gets herself in alignment, like, I don't have to, like, I dream, but that's not my gift, if that makes sense. Like, I'll have dreams and they'll come to pass too, but that's not my calling. And everybody has their calling. And nobody is better. My friend and I was just having this conversation. Just because I can read cards and don't make your gift less than mine. It don't make me better than you. Everybody just has their calling. Everybody has a different gift. Everybody has a gift. You just got to find out what that gift is. That's it.
And I thought I was like weird. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I even got on Google. I was like, what does it mean when you talk about ghosts and you cry? That was like my exact story, like my exact question. I'm like, what is this? And then I started pulling up more information. I was like, oh, okay. And then, like I said, you know who pulled it out all the way. And I was just like, because I just thought this was weird. I just thought, oh my God, this is crazy. Oh my God, this is crazy. Even my family, they know anytime we talk about anything spiritual related, like my eyes are just gonna just start. And I'm like, and another thing is, I haven't really found no one else who does it, like where that specific thing happens. So I'm like, where are my people at? I want to find people so we could talk about why and when this happens. So like, if y'all know, no.
Here I am. You know, like you're going to find your tribe. People are going to align. I mean, there's people that's aligned in my life that I would never think that would be in my life, that I would never think would align in my life. And they're here. You know what I mean? And it's just like spirit is going to put people in your life that needs to be put in your life, and they're going to pluck out people that don't need to be there no more. You know, the saying that says they're only here for a season. They're going to come in, do what they're supposed to do, and guess what? They're going to pluck them out.
So that happens to you? Like your eyes water?
No, but I am very empathic. Okay. I'm very, 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 very empathic. Like somebody might be going through something and I just feel overly sad if it's something that's sad. Or I'll be overly happy if it's something that's happy. So I am very empathic and I pick up energies very, 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 very quickly. Like someone is tugging at me right now on the live. I don't know who it is. I can't even tell who's on the live, but like someone, like when I tell you someone's been tugging on me like really, 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 really bad. But anyway, yeah, so I pull energies really, you know, yeah.
Sometime we're going to have to talk about that, girl.
Yes, ma'am.
We have to talk about that. Okay, so we're down like to my last 2 or 3 questions. Okay, for people who don't know how to, can you tell them how to spot the real spiritual people from like I don't want to say fake, but the fake ones, or those that are not there for their better purpose?
That's hard.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that's hard is because we've come to a part in the world right now where social media is a thing.
Yes.
And social media can make everything turn out to look amazing. Yes. Right? So that's where our intuition comes in. That's where our intuition comes in, right? If it don't feel right, it's probably not right. If you listening to this person and you're like, you know what I'm saying? It's most likely not right. We have a habit of not listening to our intuition and our gut feeling. You know, if it don't feel, if the math ain't math, then the answer is wrong. Don't do it. Another thing, you know, I don't charge for my readings. And I don't knock anybody that does charge, because eventually maybe my spirit team will want me to charge. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking anybody that charges. But if you go and try to get a reading and this person trying to charge you $250, $300 to give a reading, that might be a little red flag for you. That might be a little red flag for you. Or the ones that say, oh, you need to send me the money first, then I'll give you. I never do that, because guess what? If I only go by donation. That's how I go, right? Because pulling energies, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to read someone, right? So I feel like you giving a donation is you appreciating me taking the time out to read your energy and use my energy to help you along this journey called life, right? So if I go and do this for you and you say you're gonna donate and don't donate, guess what? At the end of the day, you're not hurting me. My ancestors gonna take care of that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna go about my way. I'm gonna go about my way. My ancestors gonna take. If you don't want to give it to me, they're gonna take it some other way. You know what I'm saying? And I don't never ask for nothing specific. If you say, sis, I ain't got it, I only got $5. Okay, send the $5. I'll go ahead and put it on that altar for you, and guess what? That $5 will multiply by the end of the week for you.
Period. Yeah, I've seen prices get very, very It's very outrageous. I'm like, that's crazy. And I feel like
I don't
only God himself gonna have to charge me that.
because I yeah. Because I feel my spirit team definitely has already gifted me by doing their work. This is me doing their work. This is what they want me to do, and I'm doing what they're asking me to do. So they gift me in other ways, right? So sometimes when someone gives me a donation, sometimes I turn around and use that same donation and gift my ancestors. So you're not gifting me, you're gifting my ancestors, because a lot of the things that I do and the messages that come through, it's not of me, it's of them. You know, it's of them, it's of the Loas, the ones that follow me, the ones that walk with me. You know, all of those. That's gifting them. It's not gifting me. I can't do it on my own. Hopefully, these readings that I gave will help you a little bit. I know it was very collective, but if you want to go into more depths, you know how to reach me. So Bloom333. And we can go further on. I appreciate you, girl, for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you. Thank you.
It was amazing. I had a great time. We learned shit. I learned from you. You learned from me. We learned from each other.
Yes.
You know, tell everybody, share this live, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna post it, share the live so that other people can tap into it. And I mean, you know, you never know. Maybe we could do a little collab where every so often we'll come on and do, you know, a little collective reading together or something like that in the future. And we can get some messages across.
That'll be nice. Thank you, Jenny, for coming on here.
Of
And
course.
follow the page. Inbox her if you thought it was you. And if you want a reading, inbox her. I went to her twice. Both amazing readings. So I am a testament. Am I saying it right? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I thank you guys for watching this long, because it's a long episode, but it was a great episode. And
stay on high vibrations. Have a good one, everybody. Good night.
It will be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever you can listen to podcasts at. And I will see y'all next time.
See you next time.